Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 2, Episode 2 of e.2 Smackdown. And we have a great show here tonight, so let's get ready.
Look at all of you, clinging to your purple jerseys, hoping for a miracle that never comes. You know, being here in Baltimore, I realized something. You people are experts in wanting disappointment. I watched your Ravens recently. I watched that ball sail wide of the uprights. One missed field goal, and just like that, your hopes, your season, your pride, it all vanished. Well, consider me the missed kick in CM Punk's life. I know what you're all thinking. Randy, why? You were back. You were the good guy. You were Punk's friend. Let's get one thing straight. I didn't come back to make friends, and I certainly didn't come back to play nice. I put on a smile, I shook his hand, and I played the part of the changed man, for one reason and one reason only. It made it that much easier. I needed Punk to lower his guard. I needed him to believe that the Viper had been tamed. And the second he turned his back, RKO. Last month on Smackdown, I didn't just attack Punk, I dismantled him. That's why he isn't here tonight. That's why he's sitting at home, wondering when the Legend Killer is going to finish the job. So I did it because I looked at his shoulders and I saw 2 championships. 2 titles that belong around the waist of a man who didn't have to leave for 7 years to find himself. You see, I'm a veteran. I've been the constant in this industry for over 24 years. I've survived every era, every locker room, and every chosen one that has come through those curtains. A man with my pedigree, I don't wait in any lines, speaking on a menacing tone. So Punk, if you can hear me through the fog of your concussion, listen closely. I want those titles. I am challenging you to a match in March at Birthday Bash, all in. But before I get to March, Brodie Lee, you're a big man. You think you're a leader. But tonight, in our main event, you're just a target. You're a footnote in my return to the top. And Punk, you're gonna find out that at Birthday Bash, the only thing you'll be all in on is your own retirement.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Blackpool Combat Club, the Pain Brothers, versus the New Day. New Day about to hit that move. Wait a minute! It's Big E! Big E! Taking down Xavier Woods. Reversed by Cow. 1, 2, 3. The Blackpool Combat Club, the Pain Brothers, have defeated the New Day and will face the House of Black in the semifinals. And these 2 teams will face the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is a round-robin tournament matchup. It's Kenny Omega versus Jay White. They lock up. Here we go. Jay White now with a waist lock. Omega now with a waist lock. And a headlock takeover by Omega. Omega is on the ropes. Now Jay White with an elbow drop to Omega. And now Jay White picks up Omega, a backbreaker. Omega is now in the Tree of Woes. Here comes Jay White. Drop kick, running drop kick. No, Omega gets out of it. Omega and Jay White are both on the hardest part of the ring. And Omega with a Snapdragon on the hardest part of the ring. What is Jay White going here for now? Blade Runner. No, Omega counters it. You cannot escape. Omega with the one-winged angel. 1, 2, 3. Kenny Omega wins, and Kenny Omega has 4 points, and Jay White has 0. The next match for the round-robin tournament is Will Osprey versus AJ Styles. What a match this has been. Will Osprey with a hidden blade. 1, 2, 3. Will Osprey wins. Will Osprey has 4 points and AJ Styles has 3 points. The next matchup is MJF versus the debuting Mark Briscoe. What a match this has been. Mark hits a big chop on MJF. MJF is dazed. He's in the middle of the ropes. Here comes Mark Briscoe. No! Max suckered punched Mark Briscoe. 1, 2, 3. No, MJF wins. Wait a minute. MJF has a steel chair. He's gonna hit Mark Briscoe with it. No! Wait a minute! It's the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara! And he's gonna take down MJF. And a big punch to MJF. Briscoe now going for a frog splash. Sammy Guevara is encouraging him to do it to MJF. Wait a minute! It's Eddie Guerrero! And Eddie Guerrero saying that he wants to do the frog splash to MJF instead of Mark Briscoe. And Sammy Guevara telling Mark that Eddie Guerrero wants to do that. Mark Briscoe is getting off the ropes. Eddie Guerrero, wait a minute! A drop kick to Mark Briscoe, sending him off the ring. Sammy Guevara is in shock. No, MJF with a super kick to Sammy Guevara. He blindsided Sammy. This is your fatal 4-way at Birthday Bash All In for the vacant TNT Championship. Sammy Guevara versus Mark Briscoe versus MJF versus Eddie Guerrero. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the main event. Randy Orton versus Brodie Lee. They lock up here. Orton now with a headlock takedown. Now, Orton has Lee up on the ropes and a draping DDT. Clothesline by Mr. Brodie Lee. What a match, ladies and gentlemen. Orton is calling for Brodie to get up. RKO! 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton is your winner here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. See you guys on the next episode.